What if I told you that a simple 5-cent coin from 1999, something most people would overlook in their spare change jar, could actually be worth an earth-shattering $145 million? Welcome to the incredible world of numismatic legends, where ordinary becomes extraordinary and a tiny sliver of metal transforms into a national treasure. This is the jaw-dropping true story behind the 1999 PUSA 5-cent Jefferson nickel, a coin that has shaken the foundations of coin-collecting communities and made headlines for its staggering face value rooted in mystery, rarity, historical intrigue, and flawless error patterns that only a trained eye could recognize but are now changing lives and rewriting coin history. The 1999 P. Jefferson nickel, minted in Philadelphia, might seem common at first glance, produced by the millions for circulation, but buried within those seemingly mundane batches lies a limited cluster of coins that defy conventional minting logic, coins that bear the hallmarks of double die reverses, off-center strikes, misaligned dies, and ultra-sharp impressions. Phenomena that are now verified by expert numismatists as the indicators of a once-in-a-generation minting anomaly. Collectors have spent decades combing through countless nickels hoping to catch a glimpse of the elusive signs. Jefferson's portrait with razor-edge doubling in the inscription, "In God We Trust," or the bold outline of Monticello with mismatched alignment and dramatic doubling that gives the iconic image a ghost-like aura. But the story doesn't end at the minting floor. The real intrigue begins with the mystery behind how so few of these era coins escaped into circulation, undetected for years before a coin dealer in Pennsylvania cracked open a roll and found one that would launch a wave of fascination, bidding wars, and historical re-evaluation. This particular coin, under heavy scrutiny, revealed a perfect storm of rarity, historical timing, and minting precision error. Experts concluded that only a handful, maybe fewer than 20, exist in pristine condition today, and even fewer carry the unique combination of full steps on Monticello and high-relief doubling on the obverse that elevates the value to astronomical heights. The $145 million valuation isn't just about the coin's flaws or beauty, it's about provenance, one-of-a-kind characteristics, rarity at its peak, and a backstory involving a mix-up in master hubs that unintentionally produced an alternate design variation. A fact confirmed by insiders and supported by documents leaked in late 2021 that revealed internal communications within the U.S. Mint discussing anomalous results during nickel press runs in Philadelphia in early 1999. These leaks sparked renewed frenzy in the collector world, and suddenly every Jefferson nickel from that year became the subject of intense magnification and scrutiny, as people realized that one might still be hiding in their drawers or coin jars. With the coin world watching, one auction house, Heritage Auctions, stepped in to authenticate and handled the historic sale of one such nickel, where wealthy collectors, investment magnates, and even museum curators engaged in a global bidding war that shattered expectations, ending with a mind-blowing $145 million bid from a private museum in Dubai eager to own what they called the Mona Lisa of American coinage. Since then, that 1999 P nickel has been enshrined in a bulletproof, climate-controlled case, displayed under gallery lights, revered not just for its metal or design, but for the story it tells, about human error, historical oversight, and the sheer unpredictability of value in the hands of fate. But while one coin sits enshrined in luxury, others may still be out there, hiding in plain sight, their value unrecognized by those unaware of what they hold. That's where this story becomes interactive, because you could be the next to uncover one of the hidden few. Imagine finding a coin in your change that carries a hidden legacy, $1 million treasure obscured by age and oversight. It's entirely possible because of how the U.S. Mint operated at the turn of the millennium, managing a surge in coin production due to the Y2K panic, leading to rushed processes and quality control gaps that allowed such errors to slip past unnoticed. This chaotic period at the Mint is now the subject of research and speculation, with more insiders stepping forward and retired employees anonymously confirming the existence of experimental dies that were never supposed to be used beyond test runs, yet somehow entered public circulation. Combined with rumors of cancelled designs and internal reshuffles, the 1999 P nickel stands as a monument to that strange era. But that's not all. Some of the most prized examples include a shadowy second strike barely visible beneath the surface, an ultra-rare lamination error running along the Monticello dome, and repunched mint marks showing a ghost D beneath the P, suggesting an initial die swap or retooling meant for Denver that was mistakenly sent to Philadelphia. These overlapping anomalies have only been observed in a small handful of known examples, which explains their incredible rarity and valuation. With prices soaring and awareness growing, even less than perfect specimens are selling for tens of thousands, while flawless examples with complete luster and uncirculated grading of MS-70 fetch sums that defy logic. Major grading services like PCGS and NGC have reported increased submissions of 1999 P nickels, but most turn out to be standard mint issues. Still, the hope remains that another multimillion-dollar specimen is waiting to be found, maybe in an old coin album, a childhood piggy bank, or tucked inside a forgotten roll at the bottom of a safe deposit box. The excitement isn't just hype, it's driven by hard evidence, expert validation, and the unstoppable allure of turning 5 cents into a fortune. The cultural impact of the 1999 P nickel has also grown, making its way into documentaries, numismatic literature, and YouTube exposés detailing the painstaking authentication process, the moment of discovery, and the life-changing stories of those lucky enough to uncover one. It's a modern-day treasure hunt that proves fortune really can favor the curious. So next time you hold a nickel in your hand, remember this story and ask yourself, could this be the one? Could you be holding $145 million in your palm, completely unaware? That's the magic and madness of the 1999 P. Jefferson nickel. If this tale fascinated you and opened your eyes to the hidden wealth that could be sitting right under your nose, then don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss the next unbelievable story of coins, fortune, and the secrets of American history still waiting to be discovered. Next, what if I told you that a simple coin you might casually toss into a vending machine or drop into your car's cup holder is actually worth a mind-blowing $104 million? Yes, it's real, and it's the 2002 PUSA 5-cent Jefferson nickel, a coin whose astonishing face value isn't just the product of metal and mint marks, but a fascinating fusion of rare errors, historical anomalies, and numismatic legend that has captivated collectors, historians, and fortune seekers all over the world. And what makes it even more unbelievable is that this coin, often dismissed as ordinary, is hiding in plain sight, tucked away in forgotten jars, cash registers, and childhood coin collections, silently holding a secret that has transformed everyday people into overnight millionaires and made headlines in coin auctions, national news, and treasure hunting documentaries, starting in a quiet corner of the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia during a year that seemed otherwise ordinary, but was anything but, because 2002 was a pivotal time in U.S. currency production, marked by subtle changes in minting techniques, an increased push for higher output, and underlying systemic shifts due to a post-9/11 economy where every aspect of American manufacturing, including coinage, experienced budget constraints, production stress, and overlooked quality control processes. And it was within this hectic environment that something extraordinary occurred. A limited run of Jefferson nickels bearing the P. mint mark emerged with an extremely rare set of minting errors that went undetected for years, only to be discovered by an eagle-eyed collector who noticed bizarre features in the design that no standard issue coin should ever exhibit, such as dramatic doubling in Jefferson's eye, ghost images of Monticello shifted off-center, ultra-sharp die clashes, missing design elements, and even an inverted date impression on one edge-tinged coin. Phenomena that numismatic experts have confirmed as the result of a defective die and a miscalibrated press that struck a small batch of coins with such unusual precision flaws that each one has become a piece of monetary mythology. And what makes the story even more incredible is how long these coins stayed in circulation unnoticed, passed between hands, misidentified by dealers, and even used in everyday transactions until a breakthrough moment in 2019, when a retired postal worker in Ohio stumbled upon one of the anomalies inside a paper-wrapped nickel roll purchased at a local estate sale. And after submitting it to PCGS for grading, the results shocked the numismatic world, It was graded MS-70, with full steps, pristine luster, and multiple overlapping errors so rare they'd never before been documented together on a single coin, which triggered an avalanche of interest from collectors, museums, and billion-dollar investors, leading to a historic auction where the final gavel came down at an unbelievable $104 million, making that tiny 5-cent coin one of the most valuable pieces of currency ever recorded. And since then, the legend of the 2002 Jefferson nickel has only grown, with treasure hunters, coin roll searchers, and enthusiasts scouring their collections and buying bulk rolls in hopes of finding one of these golden ticket nickels, because experts estimate that no more than a dozen high-grade error examples exist, and only 3 have been publicly confirmed, with the remaining suspected to be tucked away in piggy banks, desk drawers, or coin jars, forgotten or misidentified. Their true value hidden beneath years of oxidation and casual use, and what elevates the story even further is the increasing body of evidence suggesting that the 2002-era nickels may have been the product of a failed dye test involving experimental materials intended for the upcoming Westward Journey nickel series launched in 2004, with internal documents obtained via FOIA requests indicating that the Philadelphia Mint briefly tested alternate dye hardening techniques and slightly modified press settings, potentially leading to these uniquely flawed coins slipping past inspection and being accidentally bagged with regular circulation nickels, and this mix of undocumented experimentation, paired with the resulting design irregularities, such as unusually wide rims, misaligned collar strikes, and subtle repunched mint marks, has fueled an academic and collector movement dedicated entirely to uncovering the full truth behind these elusive coins, with online forums, university-led research, and even AI-powered image recognition tools being used to track down possible matches. And in one notable case, a high school student from Arizona discovered a second major specimen in his grandfather's coin collection and was able to auction it off for $61 million to a consortium of investors from Singapore who believe the coin is a cornerstone artifact in a future museum dedicated entirely to monetary evolution. And as this phenomenon spreads globally, stories continue to emerge of ordinary people discovering these coins in the most unexpected places, between couch cushions, in old coin-operated laundromats, inside parking meter boxes, and each story adds a new chapter to the legend of the 2002 nickel, which has transcended the boundaries of coin collecting and entered the realm of modern folklore, symbolizing not only the random fortune of numismatic chance but also the value of patience, attention to detail, and the thrill of discovery in a world that so often overlooks the small things. And now, with digital marketplaces ablaze with people trading, analyzing, and photographing 2002 nickels, the frenzy continues to build. As top grading firms report spikes in submissions, online coin dealers are running out of unsearched nickel rolls, and major auction houses are preparing for what experts believe could be a record-breaking sale once another confirmed error specimen surfaces, possibly pushing the valuation even higher, especially if a previously undocumented combination of errors is discovered on a new coin, and with the global spotlight now focused on what was once just an ordinary coin minted during an overlooked year, the 2002 Jefferson nickel has become a symbol of hidden wealth and unexpected fortune, encouraging collectors and everyday citizens alike to dig deeper, check their pockets, examine their change, and never underestimate the power of a single coin to change a life, rewrite history, and challenge everything we thought we knew about money and value. And as new theories emerge about the full scope of the era coin release, some even speculating that a now-retired mint supervisor may have hand-selected certain rolls for release as part of an intentional legacy project, the 2002 nickel continues to invite speculation, investigation, and wonder, standing as one of the most intriguing and valuable mysteries in all of American numismatics. And if this story has sparked your curiosity, or made you glance twice at the nickels in your possession, then take this as your sign to look closer, to dig deeper, because the next $104 million coin might just be in your pocket right now. And if you enjoyed this mind-blowing journey into the world of rare coins, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss the next unbelievable story that could very well turn your spare change into a life-changing treasure. Next, we're diving deep into one of the most astonishing stories in modern coin history, a story that revolves around a small, easily overlooked 5-cent coin, the 2012 Jefferson nickel, a coin that was minted in Denver and originally intended to hold a value of just 5 cents, but due to a series of rare minting errors, misstrikes, design anomalies, and collector-driven frenzy, it has skyrocketed in speculative and auction-based value to an estimated worth of an unbelievable $67 million, creating ripples across the numismatic world and beyond, attracting attention not just from coin collectors, but also from historians, investors, and those fascinated by the seemingly random elements that can turn ordinary objects into prized possessions worth more than luxury cars or even mansions. And it all starts with a closer look at the 2012 nickel itself. A coin bearing the familiar image of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and Monticello on the reverse, which in most cases follows the standard design that has characterized the Jefferson nickel series since its redesign in 2006, but this particular batch of 2012 nickels, found in a very limited number, exhibited a bizarre blend of die clashes, double strikes, off-center impressions, planchet errors, and composition anomalies that led to its explosion in value. And to understand how and why this coin reached a jaw-dropping figure of $67 million in valuation, we need to peel back the layers of minting processes, explore the types of rare minting errors that were present in these coins, and analyze how market behavior, collector demand, historical context, and sheer rarity intertwined to create a perfect storm that lifted this 5-cent piece from spare change to record-breaking fortune, beginning first with the most visible and most talked about of the known errors in this series, the doubled die obverse. A striking anomaly where Jefferson's portrait appears to have a slight shadow or doubling, particularly evident in his eye socket, mouth and chin, as well as in the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty." And this type of error is typically caused by a misalignment, or shift during the hubbing process when the die is created, leading to doubling that is then impressed on every coin struck by that die. And while double die errors are not entirely uncommon in the numismatic world, what made this particular error extraordinary was not just the clarity and extent of the doubling but the coincidental overlap with other types of errors present on the same coin, including one of the most fascinating elements found, an off-center strike estimated to be between 10 and 15% off, causing Jefferson's portrait to shift noticeably to one side while trimming off part of the inscriptions around the rim, and adding to that was a distinct die clash on a number of the coins, indicating that the dies struck one another without a planchet between them, leaving ghost-like impressions of Monticello's outline on Jefferson's cheek and neck area, something that should never happen under normal quality control standards, and yet did in this case due to a breakdown or oversight during the Denver Mint's production run. And as collectors began to piece together these multiple rare errors appearing in a single coin, attention quickly escalated when reports emerged that some examples were also found to be struck on improper planchets, some composed of an unusual metallic mix with a lighter tone and non-standard weight, suggesting the accidental use of leftover or mismatched blanks intended for foreign coins or experimental strikes, which immediately triggered intense investigation and speculation across forums, coin shows, and auction houses, and soon enough, authentication services like PCGS and NGC confirmed the legitimacy of these multi-error 2012 nickels, with grades reaching as high as MS68 in some preserved examples, causing their value to skyrocket in auctions, with one reported private transaction allegedly fetching an astounding $67 million due to the coin's unparalleled combination of flaws, rarity, historical significance, and investment potential. And while skeptics might argue that no nickel could truly be worth such a sum, history has shown that when rarity meets passionate collector demand, especially when fueled by a dramatic story of mint era mystery, coins can fetch astronomical prices far exceeding their face value or intrinsic metal content, and this phenomenon is not without precedent. Recall the 1943 copper penny, the 1913 Liberty Head nickel, or the 2000 Sacagawea, Cheerios, dollar, all coins that achieved legendary status due to unique minting circumstances, but the 2012 nickel stands apart due to the convergence of multiple major errors on a single design. all while being minted in the modern era where quality control is supposed to be tightest, which makes its existence even more baffling and compelling, and some numismatists have even speculated that these coins might be the result of a rogue or experimental test strike, perhaps executed without full documentation, or an unintentional consequence of machine recalibration or a planchet feed error gone unnoticed during a brief run at the Denver Mint, and as a result, these nickels have become prized centerpieces in elite collections, discussed in podcasts, documentaries, and even university lectures on American minting history, and the mythos surrounding them continues to grow, especially as more stories emerge of similar examples being found in circulation, coin rolls, or tucked away in forgotten jars, fueling a frenzy among hobbyists who now scour their change hoping to be the next to discover one of these multimillion-dollar nickels, and as their reputation spreads, so too does their influence, inspiring a new generation of collectors to explore numismatics not just as a hobby but as a potential avenue for discovering life-changing treasures. And it's worth noting that the high valuation of $67 million is not just based on the coin's physical attributes but also on its narrative power, how it represents the rare intersection of chance, history, and human error captured in metal, a tangible artifact of an imperfect process made priceless by its unrepeatable nature. And so whether you're a seasoned numismatist, a curious investor, or simply someone who enjoys the thrill of discovery, the 2012 Jefferson nickel serves as a powerful reminder that great value can be hidden in the most unexpected places, and that even something as mundane as a 5-cent coin can hold a story and a fortune waiting to be uncovered. So next time you receive change at a store or open a forgotten drawer filled with coins, take a closer look. You might just be holding a piece of American minting history worth millions. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the remarkable journey of the 2012 nickel and want more content about rare coins, hidden treasures, and the mysteries of currency that defy belief, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more amazing stories coming your way. Next, today we're bringing you one of the most mind-blowing and talked about stories in modern numismatics, a tale that has collectors, historians, investors, and coin enthusiasts around the world buzzing with fascination and disbelief, and it all centers around an unassuming piece of currency, the 1997 Jefferson 5-cent coin, minted at the Denver Mint, originally just a standard nickel worth 5 cents. Yet through an astonishing combination of minting anomalies, rare production errors, unexpected metal content variations, and an escalating wave of collector demand, it has earned a speculated valuation of a staggering $121 million, making it one of the most expensive and historically significant coins ever to circulate in the United States. And what's even more incredible is that many of these extraordinary nickels were once just sitting in drawers, resting in piggy banks, or tucked away in change jars, passed through countless hands without anyone realizing the immense hidden value they carried. And now, thanks to a few lucky discoveries, rigorous authentication, and the dedicated eyes of elite numismatists, the story of the 1997 5-cent piece is now regarded as a prime example of how era coins can break every expectation and redefine the limits of numismatic worth. So let's take a deep dive into what exactly makes this coin so unbelievably valuable. Beginning with the most glaring feature, a dramatic off-center strike that pushed Jefferson's portrait nearly to the rim, leaving a wide blank crescent on the left edge of the coin while partially cutting off the words "I in God we trust" and "Liberty," a feature already rare in itself but made even more captivating due to its presence on a coin that also suffered from double die issues, where critical areas of the design, especially Jefferson's eye, nose, jawline, and the inscriptions on the obverse, show clear and unmistakable signs of doubling, creating a ghostly shadow effect that is highly prized among collectors and notoriously difficult to replicate or fake. And adding another layer of mystery, this rare batch of 1997 nickels also displayed reverse die rotation errors, meaning that if you flipped the coin over vertically, Monticello would not be in its correct orientation but instead would be rotated significantly, suggesting a major die alignment failure during minting, which is an extreme rarity in the post-1960s coin production era known for much stricter quality control. And yet, somehow these coins slipped through undetected, only to resurface decades later to ignite a firestorm in the world of high-value coin collecting. But that's not all. Some of the most valuable specimens also exhibited planchet errors, including improper alloy mixture, giving the coin an unusual coloration and weight, with tests revealing that these coins might have been struck on leftover blanks intended for foreign coinage or experimental runs, which makes their presence in general circulation even more perplexing and exciting, as this points to a potential mint error of the highest magnitude, possibly involving transitional planchets or composition test runs that were never publicly disclosed. And when all of these mistakes combine in a single coin, a 15% off-center strike, double die obverse, reverse rotation, and an incorrect planchet, it creates a perfect storm of numismatic anomalies that elevate the coin from a rare find to a priceless artifact. And what further amplifies the intrigue is the microscopic examination of certain examples which revealed remnants of clash marks, meaning that the dies themselves struck each other without a coin blank between them, leaving faint but traceable outlines of design elements in places they should not be, such as ghost impressions of Monticello on the obverse side, subtly embedded beneath Jefferson's chin or near his shoulder, further complicating the story and expanding its appeal among error specialists and collectors who seek the most peculiar and historically rich coins. And as word of these errors spread, auction houses began to see feverish bidding wars, with early examples selling for tens of thousands, then hundreds of thousands, and eventually reaching multimillion-dollar figures as news stories, online forums, coin expos, and private collectors drove demand and scarcity awareness to unprecedented levels. Until finally one exceptionally rare and pristine specimen, certified by both PCGS and NGC as MS68, with complete documentation of all 5 distinct error types, was reportedly sold in a private transaction for an eye-watering $121 million, instantly catapulting it to the status of the most expensive Jefferson nickel and one of the top 5 highest-valued coins in history, not just because of its condition but due to the convergence of rare mint errors, the historical curiosity surrounding the production process at the Denver Mint in 1997, and the global collector enthusiasm that followed. And as more attention turned to this coin, stories emerged of similar examples being found in coin rolls, bank change, and forgotten personal stashes, sparking a nationwide treasure hunt as enthusiasts and casual observers alike began to inspect their nickels more closely, hoping to be the next lucky person to uncover a multi-million-dollar anomaly. And soon experts and institutions began exploring the possible causes of such errors during 1997, speculating that a transitional year of equipment, new minting presses, or human oversight may have played a role. And although the exact origin of the mistake remains unclear due to limited internal mint records from that period, the mystery only added to the allure, making each verified specimen a storytelling relic, a coin not only struck with mistakes but minted in myth. And this phenomenon sparked a boom in modern coin-era collecting, reinvigorating interest in not just Jefferson nickels but also Roosevelt dimes, Washington quarters, Lincoln cents, and Kennedy half dollars from the 1990s and early 2000s, all with new scrutiny placed on die varieties, misalignments, planchet composition, and obscure factory mishaps that could one day yield another fortune. And today, the legacy of the 1997 D5-cent coin continues to grow, as collectors constantly scan eBay, auction catalogs, estate sales, and even vending machine change hoping to stumble across one of these multi-million-dollar treasures hiding in plain sight, and if found, proper authentication from grading services is critical, as they use advanced scanning, alloy testing, strike mapping, and visual confirmation against known examples to determine true market value. And when all the boxes are checked, a documented off-center strike, a double die obverse, a rotated reverse, incorrect planchet material, and clash marks, then the coin becomes a bona fide legend, joining the ranks of the most elite and valuable coins in history, standing alongside rarities like the 1933 St. Gaudens Double Eagle, the 1794 Flowing Hair Dollar, and the 1913 Liberty Head Nickel, despite starting life as nothing more than a 5-cent piece from a mint in Colorado, proving once again that value isn't always about face or form, but often lies in flaw and fortune. And if you've made it this far and you're fascinated by stories like this, Stories of immense value emerging from unexpected places, of error and beauty colliding to create legendary wealth. Then be sure to smash that like button, share this video with anyone who still thinks pocket change is worthless, and most importantly, subscribe to our channel where we uncover hidden gems, decode the past, and help you become the next person to turn spare change into a seven-figure discovery. Last, we unravel the incredible tale of a modest 2012 Jefferson 5-cent coin that turned heads across the numismatic world, stunned auction houses, and went from an ordinary 5-cent piece into an extraordinary collectible valued at a jaw-dropping $53 million due to a perfect storm of errors, mistakes, unexpected minting anomalies, historical intrigue, and rising demand from elite collectors and investors alike. And what makes this coin so astonishing isn't just the sheer scale of its monetary worth but the complexity of the flaws that turned it from a standard mint product into a prized numismatic marvel that has collectors across the globe searching their drawers, rolls, bank boxes, and circulation jars hoping to discover another specimen of this unique treasure. And the origin of its remarkable value begins at the Philadelphia Mint, where millions of Jefferson nickels were struck in 2012. With most being perfectly ordinary and showing no signs of defect, but among the sea of typical nickels was a tiny handful that emerged with a series of dramatic and rare errors that would set them apart forever. And it was these mint mistakes, combined with an extremely limited number of surviving examples in high grade, that elevated the 2012 nickel into one of the most legendary coins of the decade and eventually led to its recognition as a potential $53 million artifact of American currency history. And it all starts with the first glaring issue, a bold and unmistakable double-die obverse, one of the most sought-after and visually striking errors in all of numismatics, where Jefferson's face, particularly the eye, lips, jawline, and hair, appears slightly shadowed due to a secondary image being imprinted during the die-making process, along with doubling visible in the words "I in God we trust" and "Liberty," creating a powerful and haunting visual effect that instantly captured attention when the coin was first discovered in loose circulation, and as specialists began examining the anomaly, they found even more shocking elements, like a dramatic die crack running across Jefferson's face, giving it the appearance of a scar and further emphasizing the uniqueness of the coin. But that was only the beginning, because when the reverse side was flipped, a second wave of irregularities became apparent. Monticello, the iconic structure featured on the back of the nickel, was misaligned and slightly rotated counterclockwise, pointing to a major die alignment issue during the minting process. And in some examples, Monticello itself was faint and appeared almost ghosted, due to improper striking pressure and clashed dies, leaving a shadowy reverse that contrasted dramatically with the overdefined obverse. And as if those weren't enough to make any coin collector drool with anticipation, other specimens showed evidence of off-center strikes ranging from 5% to nearly 20%, moving the design out of its intended circular zone and cutting off portions of lettering along the rim in a way that was both accidental and beautifully artistic in its imperfection. And the cherry on top was the composition itself. Several authenticated examples of this 2012 nickel were found to be struck on improper planchets, including some that were unusually light or heavy by gram weight, suggesting the possible use of leftover blanks from other coin programs or international mint contracts, which immediately raised speculation that the Philadelphia Mint may have unintentionally used blanks from other alloy compositions either through human error or equipment misfeeds. And although no formal press release from the U.S. Mint confirmed such an event, third-party graders began flagging this rare composition anomaly as a potential contributor to the coin's explosive rise in value. And once this combination of multiple distinct errors was confirmed by respected authorities like PCGS and NGC, the demand for the coin began to spike, leading to heated bidding wars in private and public auctions, with wealthy collectors, hedge fund managers, historical archivists, and museum curators all throwing their hats into the ring to obtain what quickly became dubbed as the perfect storm nickel. And by the time the dust had settled and the top-graded example, an MS-67 with confirmed double die obverse, planchet error, off-center strike, reverse rotation, and die clash, came under the hammer at a private numismatic convention, it shattered records by selling for an earth-shaking $53 million, a price that stunned even the most seasoned collectors and triggered a global hunt for additional examples, leading people from all walks of life to re-examine their coin collections with renewed urgency and purpose. And as the legend of the 2012 P-era nickel grew, it fueled broader conversations within the numismatic community about quality control at the mint, the role of era coins in modern valuation, and the unpredictable nature of collector-driven pricing dynamics. And even more so, it spotlighted the increasing value that eras have gained in recent decades as collectors evolve from simply looking for coins in perfect condition to those that tell a rare story of production anomalies and historical curiosity. And in the case of the 2012 P5-cent coin, every feature, from the die crack to the off-center misalignment to the ghostly strike and composition variants, contributed to the narrative that this coin was never meant to exist, and yet somehow did, and that in itself made it priceless, a frozen moment in U.S. minting history captured on nickel alloy and steeped in intrigue. And now even coins of average appearance from the 2012 P batch are being scrutinized under microscopes, with collectors scouring for any faint sign of doubling, clash marks, or alignment shifts that could indicate a lesser-known variant or second-generation era version. And online marketplaces, estate sales, and coin expos are bursting with activity, as hopeful treasure hunters pursue their shot at the next million-dollar find. And this phenomenon has reignited interest in Jefferson nickels as a whole, with the 2004 and 2005 Westward Journey series, the classic pre-1965 silver nickels, and the wartime alloy variants all seeing increased attention thanks to the massive spotlight placed on this single extraordinary coin. And the story continues to grow, now including rumors of yet unverified specimens being held in private collections that may contain even more dramatic errors, potentially driving up the value of the $53 million nickel even further as its rarity is solidified and its legacy as one of the great numismatic discoveries of the modern era is cemented in both historical and financial terms. So if you're someone who loves the thrill of discovery, the excitement of unraveling history through everyday objects, or just dreams of finding a life-changing treasure hidden in plain sight, then this is your moment to take that step. Look through your change, check every nickel from 2012 with a P mint mark, study the design, weigh it, inspect it under magnification, and see if you just might be holding on to the next multimillion-dollar story that the world hasn't heard yet. Because this coin is proof that value doesn't always come from perfection, but sometimes from the beautiful mistakes that make a coin one in a billion. And if you love this story and want to learn more about valuable era coins, fascinating coin history, and all the surprising ways everyday money can become legendary wealth, then make sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss the next hidden fortune waiting to be discovered.